everyone, it's Joanna from Nesting Story, and today I wanted to give you tips on how to successfully start your decluttering journey. If you're new to my channel, I have been on a decluttering journey for about the past 2 years. I have 4 kids and a puppy and a husband, and we have a slightly larger home, but we had a lot of things happen in a series of years that I think my husband and I just started allowing ourselves to be drowning in stuff. We were making unnecessary purchases, and when we had our twins, it just brought on so much more stuff. So after the dust had settled, after having our twins, we started to look around and we knew our house was messy. We knew it was really cluttered and there was just stuff. We had done a previous move and never really purged from that. But then it was visiting a friend's house who is not a minimalist, but it was an unexpected visit. She has kids and everything had a place. She didn't have broken stuff put away. She didn't have unnecessary stuff. She had what they used and it had places. And I turned to my husband and I said, hold the phone. People can live this way. It actually was a very eye-opening experience because I realized that the way we were living was not good for our mental health, was not good for our stress level, for our marriage, or for our kids. And we knew we wanted to start taking on some projects within our house, like our basement and everything. And to be able to do that, we needed to clear some of this stuff out. When it was time to do it, I was overwhelmed. My husband is a bit of a pack rat and he could see some other ways of using our time. Yes, he needed the basement cleared for the basement project, so that was enough motivation for him, but he didn't get why I would need to spend time on the linen closet or the kitchen or anything. And I also kind of walked around our house quite often thinking, I have so much to declutter. I don't even know where to start. Is it our garage? Is it our basement? And finally one day I just said, we're just gonna start. We just need to start somewhere. And I knew we needed to start big. Recently on one of my videos, someone told me that there was so much clutter in their house and they didn't know even where to start. They felt very overwhelmed and they didn't know how to do it. So I wanted to put out a video about 5 tips that I have personally learned to get you started in going in the right direction and to just start the process. I will say that these are my personal tips that work with having my lifestyle or a larger family, and this may not apply to someone who's trying to tackle, you know, their apartment and it's just them living there. I'm talking about having kids and having huge amount of stuff to purge, and also different dynamics like a marriage or a partner that maybe is not quite in the same headspace as you. Here are my 5 tips to get you started on your decluttering journey and just get you going in the right direction so it's not too overwhelming and it will be a success. Number 1, create a vision board. This is something I did way before our decluttering journey. I put together this board, I cut out a bunch of magazine pictures of the direction I wanted to take our house. We live in a suburban cookie cutter house, but I really wanted to put our own spin on the decor and give it that feel that I want. And it will take time, but I have a vision and it was motivation for me. So what I did was I put it right in our kitchen and I just could see it and I knew, okay, this is the direction I want to take our home in. This is your goal. Let's move towards that goal. And the great thing about the decluttering journey is it's not expensive. In fact, you could make money during it. And it can kind of pave the way to get you to that goal of where you want your home to be. So I highly recommend create a vision board. It could be interior design style, specific looks for certain rooms, maybe even some organizational hacks, something that you loved from a magazine or from Pinterest. Get it out, make a board. I would get it off your phone too. I would actually make something visual, tangible that you can touch and you can have there and you can see. Where do you want your home to be? What are the activities you want to do in your home? What do you want to feel when you walk into your home? Creating a vision board is great inspiration and motivation. Number 2, get help, especially if you have kids. So when we knew we needed to start somewhere, we knew we needed to start big. We started with our basement. We blocked out a whole weekend and we actually sent 2 of our kids to a grandparent's house and I think 2 of our kids to the other grandparent's house. Like we had childcare in place for that big purge to get going. Some days I'm just doing a cupboard in the evening, but I really think it can be important in your journey to do something big to get you going. And every once in a while it's required. Recently, we purged our garage, and what I did was I hired just a 12-year-old from our neighborhood to come play in the backyard with our youngest 2 kids while we purged our garage. So I knew they were safe, but I knew they wouldn't all be in the space where we were working. And it just helps so much to have that bit of help. You may also want people to help you declutter, help you cart things away, but ask for help. Make a plan, and then you can really get yourself off on the right foot. Okay, number 3 would be have a plan about how you're going to get rid of the stuff. So it's nice to think, and I think in the beginning of my journey, and this is what kept me really going slowly, was I thought, okay, I'm going to donate some of these here, I'm going to sell some stuff here, I'm going to recycle it, everything. And I never got anywhere because it was taking me forever to unload all of this stuff. So we changed our approach last summer when we knew we needed to do a big push to empty our basement. We hired a company, this isn't sponsored, we chose 1-800-GOT-JUNK. They take your stuff to a warehouse, they go through it, they donate what they think can be donated, they recycle what they know that can be recycled, and then they throw out any extra little bits. But they do it for you. They just remove everything for you and make sure it goes to the right spot. So instead of trying to sell all these $5, $10 items, we decided to just donate them. And any big ticket items we would post and sell, and then we use that service. Other times when I'm purging, I make a plan that I put all of the bags or boxes everywhere for donation in one area of my home, either my garage or my basement, but I make sure I get it out that week or that day. Often it's that day that we make those trips to donate or to recycle or to the dump. That day we really try to clear it out immediately. If things have been lingering, because life happens, I move it to my trunk, and I find if it's in my trunk, then I really do get rid of it because I need to be able to put groceries in my trunk and things like that. So make a plan about where is your stuff going. Number 4 is pick a spot. Like I said before, you can look at everywhere and think, where am I going to start? Just start somewhere. Pick a spot in your house. Pick somewhere that maybe you'll see the biggest impact first, somewhere that's a really common area that people go, and then that will motivate you to go into other areas of your house. But just pick somewhere and start. I think that for me, it took so long to get started because I'm a very like all or nothing type of person, and I didn't like the idea of doing some areas but then not doing the other areas in that day. Especially with 4 kids, that's not reality for me to be able to just work a week straight to get rid of everything and be done. It's a process for us. We are still on this journey, and we're still also finding out ways to keep from going back into habits. We're changing spending habits. We're changing lifestyle. We are changing organization. So just pick a spot and start, and just keep the momentum going. Keep hacking away at it, and just start somewhere. Okay, and that brings us to number 5. I think one of the hardest things about decluttering when you're not a single person is having everyone else on board. It is a challenge, and it continues to be a challenge. I recently did, my husband and I do a series called The Fold, where we fold laundry, we talk about marriage, and we were talking about decluttering, and he's got on board. But before I started decluttering, I kind of just said, this is happening, I made the plans, get on board or don't get on board. So he was on board, like I said, to get the basement done. But when he's opened up cupboards in our kitchen or our linen closet and he's seen that I've purged it, he does love it. And he's told me very specifically to keep doing this because it actually makes him feel less stressed. So I think I'm the person with the vision, and he's now appreciating it, so he's very supportive. So it can be really tricky having other people involved. Actually, the other day I opened a cupboard and there were some just random things thrown in a pantry cupboard, and I just have to breathe and think, you know, it may always be a bit this way, and hopefully over time everyone will get on board. The other thing is with kids. Getting your kids on board, actually it hasn't been that hard. They are helpful to help with the decluttering, and they're supportive, and they actually don't get upset really when I get rid of stuff. The problem is my kids are so used to our old spending ways that sometimes they still will expect us to just buy them things or get as many gifts for birthday parties, and we're really trying to change how we do things, and that will also be a process. So I think you have to have that balance of trying to get people on board, and hopefully they will switch, to also knowing that you may be driving this for a while, and hopefully people will see the difference and can get on board with your vision. Well, those are my tips to get started, and I'm going to do more tips on decluttering and how to approach it, but I really wanted to give you these to just get going on your journey. Let me know, are you on this decluttering journey? Are you about to start this decluttering journey? Was this helpful? And if you have started your decluttering journey, what were your obstacles when you started? What did you find was hard, and did I kind of answer some of these, or did you relate with anything I talked about? If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love for you to subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.